I'm sorry about this. I completely forgot about clicking on this so that we can go live on YouTube. Okay, so I think we are, okay, hold on a minute. Okay, so I think we're live on YouTube, so I can record this and post it for future viewing. Okay, so let me get back to the syllabus. If I can find it. Is it here? Nope. Is it here? Okay. Here. Okay. Okay. So let me skip down here because a lot of what we're has to do with safety will not apply to us for this course. Okay, attendance policy. This course will be conducted entirely online. Some of the exercises will be simulations, while others will be lab assignments that would normally be done in a typical lab setting with the data provided as if you had actually done the experiment. In such cases, you're expected to complete the assignments based on the data and the procedure described in the given handout. Because this course is totally online, as we said before, some of the information may not be relevant because we're not working in a physical lab. But of course, as I said before, I thought it was important for you to get a feel for the kind of behavior and responsibilities for each student working in a real lab setting. So let me scroll down to here. There'll be no scheduled makeup for labs or quizzes. And speaking of quizzes, you'll be given one quiz for this course. It will be the safety quiz, which I will post later on this evening, and it's going to be due on Friday. All right. So please make a note of that. That will be basically your first exercise for this course, and it will count as one lab report. All right. So it will be equivalent to one lab report. Okay. What else? I want to skip over the irrelevant parts for this course here. Or is there a question? Hello, is there a question? Okay, if there are no questions, please mute your mics so that I don't get distracted, all right? Please mute your mics because I'm hearing some sounds right now. Okay, so basically what this section is talking about is your responsibilities in terms of what you need to provide. And basically for this course, it's the handouts. The handouts will be posted in Canvas. In fact, let me show you where in Canvas it's located. So let me go to this here. So most of the handouts, in fact, all the handouts will be located when you click Files, and then you click Lab Handout, right? And then these are the handouts here. I've not published them yet, so I'll publish them when I'm ready to provide them for you, all right? So that's where the handouts are located, all right? Okay, going back to the syllabus. So make sure you obtain a copy of the handout. And then let me just skip over here. That doesn't apply to us. Let me skip. Okay, let me get to the lab reports. So basically, that that would be in the form of handouts. What you're going to do is complete the lab reports. As I said earlier, I'm going to provide the data, right? As if you have done the experiment and collected the data. And your responsibility after that is to do the pre-lab exercises, which I think is present in each handout, or most of them at least, the calculations, and the post-lab exercises, all right? So make sure you complete all of them. Make sure, as it states here, it's done legibly. It must be completed by hand, by the way. Must be done legibly, grammatically correct sentences. Spelling and grammar errors will affect your grades. Data and calculations must be supported by calculation setups. And of course, what you learned in lecture, or what you will learn in lecture concerning significant figures and rounding off and units and so on, all of that will be, is expected when you do your calculation setups, all right? Use only blue or black ink, all right? Very important. And another thing I should say is that when you're submitting your completed work, make sure that you scan it as a PDF document before you upload it. Do not use JPEG or any other format, because for some reason downloading those documents in those formats is very difficult when it comes to Canvas, right? So only PDF documents will be accepted, all right? And of course, there's a penalty for turning in your lab report late. Okay, then there you have the testing grading policy, the criteria for grading in class, and experimental procedures. Again, a lot of this won't apply for you guys in this course. So I will just highlight this one right here. Accuracy in calculations, experimental outcomes, use of critical thinking skills as documented in your lab reports, quizzes, and exams. That would be the main thing that you'll be looking at when I'm grading your lab reports. And then below that, you see your letter grade system established by the college based on the percentages given over here. And of course, if you have any disputes concerning any error that I may have made on your lab reports or quiz, whatever, then please feel free to contact me about that. If you want to withdraw from this course, make sure that you complete the necessary forms and have them signed by the appropriate parties, including me. If you stop coming to class after the posted drop date, you may receive a grade of F. And that's very important because in the past, I've had to fail students for that reason alone. They just simply stop coming to class without signing or completing any paperwork, all right? So please do so if you have to withdraw from this course for any reason. Some important dates are provided. And then a statement below is given, which I need to read to you. The college reserves a right to evaluate individual cases of non-attendance. Students should be alerted to the fact that 1, withdrawals do not count in the CF-GPA and may not be viewed favorably at the university level or for financial aid. 2, a withdrawal counts as an attempt under the forgiveness/withdrawal policy and the court repeat policy. 3, there are increased costs to take the course on the 3rd attempt. There may be a reason a withdrawal request may be denied. Please see the college's withdrawal procedures. Privacy rights. You can rest assured that your information, including grades, will be held in strict confidence by yours truly. And that's because federal law demands that I do so. So therefore, I will not give your information to anybody without your permission. Unless you are a minor, in which case your parents have a right to have access to that information. And also, I cannot give out grade information over the telephone or via email, all right? Academic integrity, cheating and or plagiarism will not be tolerated and may result in an FF for the course, as well as disciplinary action under the Code of Student Conduct. So if you get such a grade, then you may be able to have that grade removed if you attend what is known as an academic integrity seminar. And there's a charge for this 2-hour seminar for which attendance is required. And if you fail to attend the seminar, then that will result in your grade remaining FF. If you successfully complete that seminar, then that FF grade will be removed and replaced by the grade that you actually earned. If you're a student with a disability or some serious medical condition or learning or psychological disorder, then you need to contact the Office of Disability Services. And the way this works is that you go there, you contact Dr. Kaleli, and she will determine the type of accommodation that you're going to need, and she will furnish that information to me so that I can make the appropriate accommodations for you, all right? So if you're such a student, please contact Dr. Kaleli as soon as possible. Her information is provided, phone number, email address, and the website for the Office of Disability Services. Okay. Another thing I need to read to you guys, equal access, equal opportunity. The College of Central Florida does not discriminate against any person on the basis of race, color, ethnicity, religion, gender, age, marital status, national origin, genetic information, or disability status in its programs, activities, and employments. For inquiries regarding non-discrimination policies, contact Carol W. Smith, Equity Officer, and her contact information is provided. Okay, this might not relate directly to us in this environment. Talks about classroom decorum. We're not in a literal classroom, but still there exists the possibility of disruptive behavior that could cause disruption of the educational process in this course. So just to let you know, continuous disruptive behavior will not be allowed that can result in you being kicked out of this course. And then below that talks about a special program called the Student Assistance Program, which is basically a counseling service. And this is for those students who, might be having personal problems that could interfere with their schoolwork, work life, etc. If you're such a student, there's a toll-free number you can call, right? And if you call that number between the hours of 8:30 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, then you'll get in contact with a therapist on duty. If you call outside of those hours, then a therapist on duty will be paged and he or she will respond to the call immediately, all right? So I would strongly recommend that you take advantage of that program. Withdrawal, I think I mentioned this before, so I'm just going to skip over that. And then after that, it says here that I have the right to change the syllabus because, of course, as you know, life happens, things can occur, which results in changes in circumstances which may require some modification of the syllabus in terms of changing test dates and so on. And I'll try to be fair about that. I'll make sure that I make announcements in Canvas so that you get some heads up as to what the changes are, all right? Okay, and then after that, there's a sheet here which you need to sign and complete, basically acknowledging that you have read and understood the syllabus and promised to abide by the policies as described in this course, all right? Okay, so that's basically it as far as the syllabus is concerned. There are a couple of things I want to mention, which I'm going to post in Canvas, but I'm just going to say these things now. So the plan that I'm thinking of implementing in terms of conducting this course is, well, it's going to be slightly different for the students in the different sections. Now, if you are in section 40 for this course, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to post in the morning the handout for that course or for that day, all right? And then I'll be available during the hours of 2 to 5 p.m. on Tuesday for any questions, right? So I'm going to post the handout on Tuesday morning, and then I'll be available from 2 to 5 p.m. So if you have any difficulty with that particular assignment, you can ask me questions during that time. Now, if you're in sections 2 and 3, same thing will happen on Wednesday. But the times I'll be available on those days would be from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and then from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. All right? So on Wednesday, those would be the times I'll be available for those students who are in sections 2 and 3. In either case, the lab reports will be due on Friday at midnight. All right? So regardless of whether or not you're in section 40 or section 2 or 3, the deadline for submitting the lab reports would be on the Friday of that week by midnight, all right? So I just thought I should let you know about that. And I think that's basically it. So now would be the time for questions, if you have any. Okay, what's going on here?
Yes, Chris Carboni. I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
I'm in section 2.
Uh-huh.
What form is the instruction going to take for this class? Is it going to be live Zoom meetings, or is it going to be pre-recorded videos that we can watch?
Okay, you're talking about the lab, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's no instructions in the sense that I'll be talking to a group like this, right? It's basically an exercise-driven, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, basically we'll be doing the lab exercises, right? I'm only going to be available during the times I mentioned for consultations, right? So if you need something to be explained, or if you're having some difficulty with a particular area of the report, then you can contact me via Skype and we can talk one-to-one about that, right? But there's no class or lecture per se because it's a lab course, and therefore it's more, exercise driven than lecture driven.
Understood. Thank you.
All right. Okay, any other questions?
What type of exercise we're gonna do? Are we gonna make slime with kids? What are we gonna do?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
What type of exercise we're gonna do with the lab?
Well, there's no, well,
Everything on the paper or anything by hand we're gonna do?
no, you won't be doing anything by hand. As I said before, I
Okay.
will provide the data in the handouts as if you have done the experiment.
Oh
You see what I'm
man,
saying?
I wanted to do something with kids, you know?
Oh, yes, I know. You know, there was actually, we had some discussions about this, you know, right after the pandemic. And just to cut a long story short, there have been some suggestions about buying some products from this company where you can do labs at home or experiments at home. I was not for it because these were actual chemicals that were being provided by the company. And I don't think I want that liability, because if you take that home with you and then if you have a child who swallows some solid sodium hydroxide, the question becomes, okay, who is liable? So, you know, I just said, no, you know, the best thing I can do is what I told you guys, just give you guys the handouts with the data and then you guys do the rest. I mean, it's not the best situation, but it's the best that I can do right now, given the circumstances. Okay, any other questions?
I also have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I was looking at the assignments that you have in there, and they all look like they're going to be labs that can be done on like the external thing from Labster.
Oh, okay. Yes. I think I mentioned it briefly earlier, but let me just say some more about that. So some of the exercises that you're going to do would be the handouts as I described before. But yes, some others would be Labster, all right? And basically it's computer simulations, right? Where they guide you through some exercises and you know, the system automatically generates your score as a result of what you did.
Mm-hmm.
To be frank with you, I don't like it. It's not the same thing as far as, it's not the same thing as an actual lab exercise where you actually get in a lab, do the experiment, write down your data, do your calculations. It's not the same thing. I don't think it replicates, I don't think it comes close to replicating what you'd actually do in an experiment. So, but you know, as I said before, this is the best we can do. So yes, some of your exercises would be the Labster simulations, but the rest would be the handouts, as I told you before, where you're given the data and you're to do the rest.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem. Okay, any other questions?
I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, like when I look at the class, I can see the assignments, but if I click on them, there's no due date or anything there.
Right.
So,
I'm going to, when the date is due, when I open up the or publish the assignments, I'm going to of course choose the due date, which would be, as I said before, the Friday of that week at midnight.
okay, so like where do we start? Like, have you uploaded the first thing or are you gonna
No, not yet. In fact, the first assignment that you're going to do is a safety quiz, which is based on the safety video. Which reminds me, I need to show you where that is. So you guys can still see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if you go to your page, your Canvas page for the course, and you scroll down to modules, right? And you click on this link here, which says safety video. And that will bring up a YouTube video, which is about, if I remember correctly, about 45 minutes long, which deals with the safety rules in more detail, right? So that's your first assignment. All right, any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, well, if there are no other questions, that's basically it for now. So if you have any other questions that you may come up after we end this discussion, you can contact me during my office hours, which are listed, of course, in the syllabus. All right. So as I said before, look out for the safety quiz, which I'm going to post later on this evening, and make sure that is done by Friday. So if there are no other questions, that's basically it for today. So
And
have
you
a
did
good
have one
day.
question.
Oh, yes, sir.
You had a question that showed up in chat. I'm assuming
Oh.
that person's having trouble getting their audio to work. They were
Yeah.
just asking if there would be any differences between section 40 and sections 2 and 3, other than the Skype hour availability.
No, no difference. I don't anticipate any differences. It's basically the same set of exercises that you'll be doing. So there's no real difference. It's just that the hours set aside for consultation will be different. For section 40, it's going to be Tuesday from, what did I say, 2 to 5. And then for sections 3 and 2, it will be Wednesday, 9:30 to 12:30, and then 2 to 5. Okay.
Thank you, Professor Nicely. You have a good day.
Yes, and you enjoy your day too, because of course next week will not be like this. All right.
Yeah, I have right now physics on other line. I have
Oh, okay.
double Zoom. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
All right. So take care, folks. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email or call me on Skype during my office hours. All right. So take care, folks, and have a good day.